Thanksgiving. The day when we all come together and sit down at the table to watch cartoons. The amount of Thanksgiving cartoon episodes out there is actually overwhelming. I didn't know so many existed, but it works out that Cartoon Network's list is actually pretty short. I had enough time in my schedule to sit down and watch all the specials and rank them according to these 5 categories. Will 100% get you into the Thanksgiving mood. Yeah! The vibes are there. Could have been better. Why did they make this? Do not waste your time. Literally do anything else. Do not waste your time. According to the Cartoon Network Wiki, the first Thanksgiving special we'll be ranking today is Regular Show. I have never seen a single episode of Regular Show before, so I'm excited to see what it is and what we're getting ourselves into. Yeah. Also, was anyone gonna tell me this is 8 seasons long? How is that show gone on for 8 freaking seasons, dude? That's crazy! Look how many freaking episodes there are! Thank God we only gotta watch one. This Thanksgiving special episode of Regular Show is pretty straightforward. Mordecai and Rigby play phone football in the house on Thanksgiving and ruin all the food, so the gang splits up to hunt down more food, and Mordecai and Rigby enter a singing contest with the grand prize being a turducken, or a turkey stuffed with a duck stuffed into a turkey. Yeah. They end up winning the competition, but the turducken gets stolen, and the gang attempts to steal it back, but blow it up in the process, and end up with the magical wishbone that grants them the ability to wish their families and friends to all be home safe and sound, surrounded by food. This episode truly surprised me because I hated Regular Show growing up. I thought it was too dumb, too edgy for Cartoon Network. I thought it belonged on Adult Swim. I didn't want to watch it. I thought it was lame. But this episode definitely has influenced me a little bit. I did not think the episode was going to be that wholesome, but also it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So much so that I think we're going to have to put this episode into the vibes are there category for sure. Next on the list, we got my buddy Craig of the Creek. It's Craig of the Creek. He's gonna set the day. It's Craig of the Creek. I love that show. That show is so fire. If you haven't watched Craig of the Creek, please take some time to go watch it. I watched it during a whole summer. It took me like 6 weeks to get through all the episodes. It was so good. It reminded me of when I was a kid because I grew up in a really big neighborhood full of kids and we played in the woods, so it's very nostalgic for me. I think it also takes place in Maryland, which is East Coast. So I'm East Coast, so they get it. They get it. The vibes are there. It's super good. I've seen the Craig of the Creek Thanksgiving special. It's definitely one of my faves, and it's super cute, super wholesome, and basically starts off with Craig at the creek with his friends eating leftover foods and retelling his friends about his trip to his grandma's for Thanksgiving. Craig's older brother Bernard is sick of eating at the kids' table and accidentally ruins his mom's pie that she made for dessert. While all the adults are distracted at the adult table, Craig and his brother secretly remake the pie without his mom finding out, and their cousin and sister both help out to distract the adults. And of course, things don't go right. And there's a really cool little twist in there that I really enjoyed. So if you haven't seen this episode, if you haven't watched Craig of the Creek, again, go watch it. It's worth it. The twist is great. And I'm gonna have to put Craig of the Creek's Thanksgiving special into the top slot of our categories, into 100% will get you into the Thanksgiving mood, because 100% will get you into the Thanksgiving mood. Unikitty was next on our list, but I had no idea that this show existed. All the characters seem to be based off of Legos, maybe? Not really sure what the heck they are. This episode was pretty short, focusing on the characters making their own parade floats and riding in the parade, while a character named Master Frown tried to ruin the parade with his sad float. There were a few jokes in there that made me giggle, and I liked that it focused on the parade instead of a Thanksgiving dinner. However, it couldn't compare to regular show's episode or Craig of the Creek's episode, and I had to put it into the could have been better category, because it really could have been better. Adventure time! Come on, grab your friends. We'll head to very distant lands. We'll Jake the dog and Finn the human. The world may never end. Adventure time! I don't know the lyrics. I've only seen a few episodes of Adventure Time. That is all I know. I definitely got those wrong. I don't know the lyrics. Please correct me. Please correct me in the comments. It was close enough, man. It was close enough. The Adventure Time Thanksgiving special wasn't about Finn and Jake, which surprised me, but was rather about a snow golem who had a fire pup follow them home one day after an encounter with its pact. The snow golem is lonely and wants nothing to do with the pup, but eventually falls in love with the pup. The pup gets homesick though eventually, and the snow golem travels to bring the pup home and is sad to be alone again, but then the pup and its family come and choose to show the snow golem love instead of hate. And even though the show wasn't explicitly celebrating Thanksgiving, you could tell the heartwarming message and vibes were exactly Thanksgiving. So you can bet your bottom dollar that the Adventure Time Thanksgiving episode is going into the vibes are there category, 100%. I don't know why they made this. I don't know why they made this. I don't know how this episode relates to Thanksgiving. I've seen many Gumball episodes before, and this is not a Thanksgiving episode. I don't know why they made this. Banana Joe's mom, Barbara, goes missing, and Gumball, Darwin, and Joe spend the whole episode acting like bananas and looking for her. Meanwhile, Barbara is forced to paint pictures of the future and ends up transporting Gumball, Darwin, and Banana Joe to her with her painting powers. They then rescue her, and the episode ends. What? What? There is no Thanksgiving references. There's nothing mentioning Thanksgiving. There's no Thanksgiving vibes. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't understand why this episode is on the list. It has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. Which is convenient because we have that category, and that's exactly where it's going. It's going right into that freaking little, I don't know why they made this category. Because I don't know why. I didn't think we were actually gonna have a show go into that category, okay? I did not think that we were gonna have a show go into that category. It was just like a hee ha ha funny, but this actually, like, why did they make this? I don't know. And to make matters worse, our next most overplayed Cartoon Network show is up next, which is Teen Titans Go. I watched the OG Teen Titans when I was a kid. That will always be my Teen Titans. Beast Boy was my favorite. He was so goofy. I love OG Teen Titans, okay? Teen Titans Go just always seemed like they were making fun of it, or it was supposed to be a comedy, and just like, everybody wanted a reboot. Nobody wanted to turn into a comedy series, but you know, this Thanksgiving episode has definitely changed my perspective a little bit on it. Robin invites Batman to Thanksgiving and wants it to be perfect for him, but of course the Teen Titans invite other family members and friends, and things don't go exactly as planned. So much so that Robin ends up running away and crying in his room, and Starfire confronts him and ends up realizing that Thanksgiving isn't perfect. It's about being surrounded by loved ones and making the best of what you got. Which low-key was really cute and wholesome. Like, every time I see clips of that show, I have maybe seen like 1 or 2 episodes of it. It is just like brain rot, okay? It does not seem like it has like wholesome moments. So seeing a wholesome moment in the show was very surprising, and it changed my opinion to put Teen Titans Go into the vibes are there category. Because they were. The vibes were there. It talked about it was better than Gumball. Gumball set the bar real low. I feel like anything after Gumball was going to be better. And that was true for Teen Titans Go. My favorite Cartoon Network show, though, and possibly my favorite cartoon of all time, is Steven Universe, which is our next episode. We are ranking the Steven Universe Thanksgiving special, which I have seen at least 3 or 4 times at this point. Maybe? I don't know. I've watched Steven Universe so many times. I literally have the complete Steven Universe box set so I can watch it whenever I want. But this episode is so classic and wholesome, and if you need something wholesome to watch, again, this will get you perfectly into the Thanksgiving mood. The whole episode essentially boils down to it's never too late to change and become part of a family no matter how much time has passed. With the birth of Pumpkin in this episode, little pumpkin, I love Pumpkin. Finding out more lore about Steven's human family, and the introduction to Uncle Andy, this episode goes right at the top under 100% will get you into the Thanksgiving mood. Yeah! I don't want to give too much away about the episode. I love this episode. I've seen it so many times. Please, please watch it. I cannot say that enough. Watch the whole series. Go and watch all of Steven Universe because it's all so cute and wholesome, and I love Steven. I've only ever seen a few episodes of Clarence, though, okay? Clarence is definitely one of those shows that I want to go back and watch episodes. Like, I've only seen like 1 or 2 sporadically, but I want to sit down and actually watch the whole series because I have heard pretty positive reviews on Clarence. This episode really surprised me with Chad being nervous about going to Thanksgiving, only to find out why was because his parents are so laid back and that they forgot it was Turkey Day. It made me laugh that Clarence invited 2 random kids and the garbage lady along with them, and that they all came. I love that. The theme of the episode reminded me much of the Teen Titans Go episode, where the meaning was to relax, go with the flow, and like Clarence said,
the only rule of Thanksgiving is that everyone has to be together.
I had a little bit of a hard time choosing where to put this episode exactly because it is very chaotic and not a typical Thanksgiving episode, which I guess is just Clarence in general not being a typical, I don't know, I need to watch it. But I ultimately decided to put it in The Vibes Are There. It almost went into okay, because things got really chaotic at one point in the show. But it's the vibes are there. The vibes are definitely there. Dexter's Lab, on the other hand, yeesh. Yeesh, bro, yeesh. I used to watch Dexter all the time as a kid. Dee Dee was my favorite character because she was so stupid and goofy and she always messed everything up. Like, I love all the stupid, funny characters if you can't tell at this point, okay? I love those characters. This episode, though, I don't know why they made this episode either. I don't know which one's worse at this point. Gumball was really bad. This one is also really bad. I feel like Dexter's, like, maybe you could reference it a little more to Thanksgiving because there is some fighting that happens in this episode between siblings, and fighting and siblings, that's just Thanksgiving, okay? Everybody fights on Thanksgiving. So, like if I, this episode had nothing to do with Thanksgiving again, and I don't know why the frick it was on this list. Dexter gets in trouble at school and transforms Dee Dee to look just like his mom so that Dee Dee can talk to the principal instead of his mom. And the whole reason Dexter got in trouble, we wait the whole episode to find out what the heck he does. And you know what? Want to know what the heck he does? He got an A- on his test instead of an A+. And the principal was concerned. Which then leads to Dee Dee and Dexter getting into a fist fight in the principal's office and them getting sent to school counseling. So, that was it. That was the freaking episode. Like, what? How does that have to do with Thanksgiving? I don't understand. The bar's gotta be real low to get on this freaking page, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you, the bar must be real freaking low to get on this Cartoon Network Thanksgiving specials page. The bar's gotta be so low because the next episode is... what is this? Foster's Home for Imaginary... I think they're just referencing the fact that Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends had a float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, and I'm pretty sure there was like a blue balloon too. Probably like circa 2006 or something, like I don't remember, but I think it's referencing that. Which, like, why is it on this list, dude? Why is it on? It's not an episode. Foster Home for Imaginary Friends has a Christmas special, which is mwah, chef's kiss, mwah, spectacular. But there's no Thanksgiving episode. Like, whoever's in charge of this wiki, man. The bar is low, man. I feel, though, because they don't actually have a Thanksgiving episode, that we can't technically rank Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And we're just gonna have to leave them at the bottom. We're just gonna have to leave them unranked because you can't really put that in a ranked. Was the show spectacular on TV? Sure, I think I was probably like 9, but it was great from what I don't really remember, but I think it was great. Yeah, they probably had some guest feature people singing, lip syncing, you know. I don't know. We're gonna have to leave this one unranked though. My gym partner's a monkey used to play every morning before I'd go to school, and I do have very fond memories of being in elementary school and watching it with my brothers before we'd go to school. And it wasn't a bad show from what I remember. Do I remember the Thanksgiving episode? No. So, of course, we had to go back and watch it. The idea behind the Thanksgiving episode was really cool. It was a Christmas Carol, but for Thanksgiving. Literally the Christmas Carol. I'm talking past, present, and future ghosts. And the whole 20 minutes of the episode is Adam Lion trying to figure out why the animals hate Thanksgiving, and the animals trying to make him hate Thanksgiving, all for Adam at the end of the episode to go, oh, you guys don't like Thanksgiving because you gotta eat turkey and you guys are animals too. Duh. And then all the animals go, no, actually, we just don't like loud noises in the parade because the parade is loud noises and we just don't like loud noises. Which, fair. That's just like my cat Watson. Mr. Woodson, handsome, he has many names, does not like loud noises, and he will hide from loud noises. So I understand the animals not liking loud noises, but you're telling me, we went through the whole freaking 25-minute episode just for them to be like, yeah, we just don't like parade. Like, okay, valid, but like, I feel like at this point, the Christmas Carol is just so overdone in media. If you've seen the Christmas Carol, you know the story. It's with the gym partners and monkey. It's kind of funny, like they have references and you understand the references, but it's just so boring and overdone. And like it was a cool twist to do it with Thanksgiving instead of Christmas, but again, it's been overdone and they literally just followed the Christmas Carol like to a T. Like there was no twist, there was no shakeup. And for that, I feel like I'm gonna have to put it in our bottom category. Literally, do not waste your time. Do something else instead. Literally do anything else with your time. Do not waste your time. This was not worth it. Another show that I used to like on Cartoon Network, this was probably like early high school, was the show Mad. I used to read Nickelodeon magazines when I was a kid, and the show Mad reminded me of the parodies that the Nickelodeon magazines would do, and also I just loved parodies. Anybody around that time, like that was the big thing on YouTube, was doing parodies. So having a whole cartoon show where they would do parodies was pretty freaking neat and cool. And I liked that it was different artists for every section, it was different jokes, and it was like, you know, short attention spans, kind of like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, like just different little shorts every like minute or so. This episode though, maybe should belong in a jail cell instead of the bottom rank, and I'm not freaking joking. Not only did Mad reference the Bourne Identity movie in this episode, which, what freaking kid has seen that movie? I'm sorry, I never watched that movie and I was probably like early high school when this came out. I don't know any kid that's gonna get that reference, but sure, go on, parodied it. The real issue that came with this show was all the little skits in between the two large skits at the beginning and end of the show. Like I was saying, all the short little skits, every minute or so. A lot of them were in bad taste, and almost were racist. I'm pretty sure they were freaking racist. The way they drew indigenous people and just some of the jokes, like, they just were not it. They were not it. And I truly think because of this, we cannot put this in the bottom category. I truly think we have to go ahead and just delete this whole episode, delete this whole show from existence, really. Get out of our categories, get out of the ranks. Like, this was so bad. This was so bad. Ah! No wonder the show eventually got canceled or isn't around today. Like, it was so bad. I don't understand. I don't get it. Times are different. I get that. This was probably like 2012-ish. That was like 12 years ago. Sure, but like, no. So like, we're deleting this. Bye. Even the freaking annoying orange Thanksgiving special was better than the mad special, okay? Even freaking annoying orange. Which is our next one we're talking about. The only way you could watch this freaking special was on YouTube from someone's own cell phone recording of it. I really loved in the episode that they called Thanksgiving Thanks for Nothing Day because they're all food and they hate that they're all gonna get eaten. And the idea that the fruit were the pilgrims and the vegetables were the indigenous folk, and that they got to team up together to beat the utensils from eating them. I thought that was kind of cute. I thought that was a little cute idea, them coming together and getting back at the fork and knife and spoon. But then it ends with the actual pilgrims eating them. So, it was just okay. Drop it in that, it's just okay box. Could be better. Literally could be better. Along with Mega XLS's Thanksgiving episode 2. The episode surrounded a green blob that lands on Earth and takes over control of parade balloons and fights our main characters. The Sonic balloon was really cool, and I loved how there was a Super Mario Bros. Reference balloons too. But I just couldn't get 100% behind the characters and their personalities and what they stood for. I never watched the show. I think it was around when I was a kid, but I just didn't watch it. There was other cartoons I was into. I did like that Steve Bloom was in it. I was like, oh, yo, baby Steve Bloom boys. That was really cool, but other than that, it was just okay. Lastly, but not least, the holy grail of Cartoon Network shows. Bobobo-bo Bobobo-bo Bobobo. Bobobo-bo Bobobo was my favorite cartoon when I was 10 years old. I can remember waiting every stinking week for it to be Saturday night so I could watch the next episode. I loved how random the humor was and how sporadic and random and spontaneous all the characters were. I just thought it was the funniest thing. Like, you never know what to expect. 1 minute Bobo's there, the next she's a fire truck and everyone's just like, yeah, that's just Powers. Powers wigging out, bro. That's what he does. And like, that's all they do. They all just like, it's a comedy. Like, it was so funny and mind-blowing, and I'd never seen anything like it when I was 10 years old. And to this day, Bobobo-bo Bobobo holds a special place in my heart. It really, really does. It's a really, really funny, stupid, great little show. And I remember it premiering on Cartoon Network too. Like, it was a Friday night. I remember watching it and being like, woo! But I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. But I also have a little childhood bias, which is gonna make reviewing this episode a little hard. I didn't even freaking know they had a Thanksgiving episode, I'll be honest. I had no idea. You wouldn't even be able to tell unless you literally looked at that list and you were like really tried to make the connections like I did in this video. The episode itself wasn't super Thanksgiving because it's an anime from Japan and Thanksgiving is an American holiday, but they did make a lot of Thanksgiving food references all throughout the episode.
Stuff worse than a turkey at Thanksgiving.
Or, Jelly Jiggler says, November Fool's Day, over and over. And heck, They had a whole scene where Bobobo-bo cooks a whole feast for Suzu, one of the bad guys, all while looking for and infiltrating Captain Battleship's ship so they could save Beauty, who got turned into a doll. This was such a fun episode to watch. Again, I love Bobobo-bo Bo-bobo. I love the randomness. It's so classic. Like, you're just like, what the hell am I watching? Like, that is an average watch of Bobobo-bo Bo-bobo, but it's so good. And there's a storyline, and they all have weird powers, and it's just so good, man. It's just so good. I stand by that. It is, and because of that, I gotta put it in. The vibes are there. It doesn't go at the top with all the wholesome stuff because it is an anime set in Japan. Like, I almost wonder if like the dub actors were like, yeah, this is supposed to be like Thanksgiving kind of, so like we're gonna just throw some Thanksgiving lines in there. Like, I'd be curious to see how the Japanese dub compares to the English dub. That would be really interesting to look at. But because, again, it's not fully like Thanksgiving, I feel like I can't put it at the very top, but it at least gets close to the top. Yeah. And that's all the shows we got on the list. Wasn't too bad, wasn't too long, wasn't too short. You know, I feel like there's a good amount to rank, especially like on my end because I had to watch everything. It took a few hours to like watch everything and take notes. I have a whole notebook I just filled with notes on every episode and my rank when I was watching them. But I've always wanted to make a ranking video. I see people do this all the time on YouTube, so I was really excited to like be able to do that. And yeah, there's so much I could rank. There's more holiday specials. I could do Christmas next month. I could do literally anything. So if there's anything you guys want me to specifically rank, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this. Again, I'm making content that y'all want to see. Okay? I got a creative mind. I'm going to make what I want to make, but I also want to give y'all what you want to see too, because I love you guys and do care about what you want to watch. But anyways, no matter how your Thanksgiving goes this year, whether it's good or bad, know that I love you, you are loved, and no matter what, stay gay, you homos! Happy Thanksgiving, bye, love you! Woo!
You should have drawn the rest of them. Barbara, do something! Yeah, I meant something helpful, Barbara.
What am I witnessing right now? This is not Thanksgiving, bro.